5 o'clock, Friday, April 21st. I'm seeing about 16, 17 knots right where I'm sitting at the moment. It's usually a little livelier here in LA Harbor as we're coming out, you know, close to the landmass. We get out, I expect it'll probably settle down to 10 to 15. So we're gonna head over to Emerald Bay. So our mission is to go check out Emerald Bay. If it's calm enough, we'll anchor. Could be a little rolly there today, tonight. So I'm just gonna go head over and see what we get. We'll give it a shot. Worst case, if we need to bow and get a mooring or head to one of the other anchorages and peel out, we'll do that. Wow, look at all this sun. It's been gloomy out for so much of spring so far. Got a tug to port, not the cool kind. And I'm not sure if this ship out front, if he's heading out or if he's anchored out there. So I'm gonna jump on AIS here pretty soon and give a little check there, but we'll use our eyeballs first, and then we'll dive into the electronics. So I decided I've got everything pretty much rigged and ready to go sailing. I need to clean up the lines just a little bit, but I've got the crunch off the boom, the stack packs opened up, ready to go. The main halyard's on. Need to do a second check and make sure that it's clear all the way up at the mast. Fenders are in, lifelines are on. One of the dock lines still needs to be coiled up. So we'll get all that nonsense done. As soon as we get out, shortly after we get outside of LA Harbor. So I decided just to mess with the main and everything, but to get as much of the boat prepared as I could. While I was on flat water or at the dock, and then once we get out there, we'll do the main and everything. But hopefully the halyard's clear. I won't have to go forward to the cockpit to get the sails up. So we're outside of Angel's Gate. It's on Angel's Gate, and we're looking at 22 knots right now on the nose. So we may change our plans a little bit. This is generally when I like to reef also, sometimes slightly before 22 knots. A little different than what I was expecting today, actually. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. The wind's up here, but we'll see how far into the channel we've got winds like this. Could be a pretty sprightly sail today. Still probably about 21 knots right now. Let's have a look. So I've got the full main out. I didn't want to mess with reefing it. I don't think it's going to get any worse. So it should calm down a little bit. If we need to reef it, we will. So we've got the full main up and the staysail. Both are strapped in pretty tight. We're getting 5.5 knots, give or take a point or two here and there, which is good. It's a solid boat speed. If I need to go faster, I can go faster. Pull in the head sail, pull out the head sail, I should say.
017, speed 15 knots.
Just about getting into the northbound shipping lane. You can see a ship here off our starboard bow. Let's see what we've got here. This is the Silver. And what is it? It's a 180 meter cargo ship. Looks like our CPA is going to be just a little under 2 miles. They're doing 8 knots and some change. So I'm okay with almost 2 miles CPA. All right, whale sighting to port. There it goes, right there. We're in the neutral zone in the traffic separation scheme. And just straight ahead of us is the cargo ship Silver. We're going to clear stern, which is nice. Didn't have to make any changes to our course. We're sort of pointed right towards the Two Harbors area. It's not too far from Emerald Bay, so I don't know if we're going to attack or if we're just going to motor all the way up as far as we can get to the island, and then motor that short distance into Emerald Bay to top off the batteries and stuff like that. But winds are perfect right now. What do we have? 15.2, 15.3 apparent. So the winds did chill out a little, which is nice. So right between the shipping lanes and the traffic separation scheme. On the way to Two Harbors, there's like one little obstruction. If you see that little yellow dot there, that's the Scripps Wave Rider buoy. Look a little closer, you can see it's slightly ahead of us in starboard. If that shows up. But if you look to port, there's a little yellow buoy out there with an antenna on it. It's not super visible, it's kind of small. It's probably made out of concrete or something that's gonna sink your boat if you hit it. Maybe not, but it's there. It is. And once again we find ourselves in a possible racing situation. Got a sailboat here over to starboard. And we'll find out if we beat them to the island, then we're racing. Hell yeah, we're racing. They beat us, we're just taking a leisurely sail. All right, here's a race update. We're totally beating this Hunter. They're falling behind us, but Catalina Express is gonna smoke us here, unfortunately. Yeah, so we're giving that boat an HJ. Just for clarification, HJ stands for horizon job. Like, they're gonna disappear over the horizon. Got us dialed in a little bit better. We're doing solid 6.5. There's the sailboat behind us. And we think they're gonna get further behind us even yet. So we're gaining speed. 5 p.m. We're about 6.25 miles out from Emerald Bay, and we've got a little bit of a switch up we're going to need to do here. So here we are. We're actually headed over here. We need to go to about 70 degrees over starboard. We want to go over here, and we're pointed well to the east of that. So the wind keeps kind of knocking us. We keep getting these headers, which means I have to keep going to port and going off target to keep the wind in the sails. Otherwise, the sails kind of start luffing. And which is no big deal. We're getting closer into the island, and I'm starting to see us 70 degrees off. That means it's probably going to be about a good time to fire up the engine. Now we could tack back and forth and stuff like that, but the problem is we want to get to the anchorage. There's kelp around the anchorage. We want enough daylight to be able to see what we're doing as we come in, so we really want to get there during late daylight hours. A bit of a dilemma. The wind's going to chill out after the sun goes down, probably. So you always get these, late afternoon breezes here. I was hoping it would start settling down a little bit before I got here. I'm currently seeing 23 knots apparent. Still a pretty good breeze. It looks like it flattens out a little bit as we get closer to the island. Hopefully. We've got a little bit, some rollers here too. So we might wind up going by Emerald Bay and not liking what we see. And if we don't like what we see, I'm not going to drop the hook. If I'm not liking it, worst case, I'll evaluate a couple of things. Emerald Bay has moorings, but the problem with the Emerald Bay moorings is there's a bit of a current there. And right now the current and the wind would be kind of coming across your beam. Trying to do a solo pickup with this boat and those conditions would just be a complete shit show. Goodness, let's get this main down, huh? All right. Another issue coming up. We're here. The sun is right in our eyes. This is Emerald Bay right in front of us. Holland's landing over here to port. We have Indian Rock straight ahead. We're just gonna creep up on Indian Rock like a creeper. Yep, I think we've got someone anchored in our spot. I mean, I might be able to anchor behind these guys, but it starts to get deep and then you get back into the kelp again. Fuck. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and bounce. We've got 2 boats here anchored off of Indian Rock here, which is really where I wanted to anchor. I think 3 is gonna be a crowd. I could try and anchor behind him in a little bit deeper water. See the big rock in front of these boats. But that's going to push us back further than we wanted to be. I wanted to be kind of behind the rock and sheltered a little bit. So let's head over to the Isthmus and we'll drop the hook over there. So we're just passing by Eagle Reef. There's Cherry Cove right there. There's some good snorkeling up in there. The 4th of July Cove kind of ahead of us here. The Isthmus straight ahead. here. May have to muscle. Let's see how much water we're in. 90 feet. Lock it. We're not gonna go anywhere. Total cluster. I let the chain down pretty rapidly because I don't want to drift too far away. I feel like I'm at a good distance from the moorings. 90 feet, a little deeper I'd like to be, but I don't want to be right on top of the mooring. So the chain is a safety feature. It runs into rope, and I couldn't get the rope. The wind was pushing me back. It was hard to get the rope over the Wildcat to get it pulled in, because the Wildcat just didn't pull on the rope. So did do a bunch of hitches and with the rope to try and finally get the chain in kind of piece by piece, and I finally got all that sorted. So it's all set up. It's on the snubber. I think we'll back down just a hair, but feels like we're pretty secure right now.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
7:23. We're all set. Snubbed, anchor set hard, and it's time for Captain's Hour. Woohoo! Cheers, everyone. 6 a.m. Saturday morning. Let's have a look outside. Pretty calm out. All right, it's time for another episode of Cooking with Keel Dragger. So today we're going to make a little bit of a breakfast burrito situation here. So I have some pre-cooked sausage. Just makes less of a mess than cooking it raw. Some eggs, some tortillas, and we'll see if we have a couple of other little surprises we can add to this. All right. Let's heat up this tortilla. Let's see if we can burn our fingers in the process. That'd be yes. Okay, the sausage is on. Forgot the first step in cooking. All right, this is just a little bit of a lame scramble with the eggs. We'll put some eggs down here. Few, so we might not need all those. Get our eggs in. Now let's throw in a couple pieces of sausage. Okay, now let's throw in a little bit of cheese here. Some Erdi's salsa casera. Now let's get a little avocado verde. Some avocado verde on here. Look at that. All right, maybe not fantastic, but definitely a step up for Keel Dragger.